It's a dramatic entrance, but basically you already know from the title what this video is all about. So let's get unboxing. Fujifilm X-E5 camera, the very nice strap. I tried it before. Battery, yeah, USB-C or audio adapter, and some tools for the strap, I guess. And that's it. Some paperwork, of course. Now, let's start with the strap. And I'm doing this because I know this one is extremely nice. This strap, or this kind of strap, it's here, this one is branded, of course, with Fujifilm. But this kind of rope strap should be included in every single camera. Since most of our cameras nowadays cost around $2,000, so this should be in the box in every one. Just my opinion. Battery, it's not the bigger one from the XT line, it's the smaller one from the Fujifilm X100 line. And here it is, the X-E5. And I decided to go with black this time. Hi, and thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Furk, aka Phil, and as you already saw the unboxing, this video was about the unboxing of the X-E5 from Fujifilm. And besides of the unboxing, I want to basically share you my roadmap, what I have planned for this camera. I'm also interested in what kind of content you would be interested. Because my followers on this channel know that I'm a huge fan about retro style cameras, old cameras in general also, like DSLRs, but also compact cameras. This X-E5 basically fits the two preferences I have, retro style and small and compact. Yeah, I think some people say that Fujifilm is not a retro style camera brand or whatever, but in my opinion it is, and that's why I'm interested in these Fujifilm cameras, and that's also why I bought this X-E5 from my own money. No brand has any affiliation with me. All the cameras I buy are from my own pocket, and therefore I can talk about them freely. Everything what's good about it, what's bad about it. I'm not obligated to any kinds of affiliation. Now let's get this out of the way. If you look at these three cameras, you might remember my last video from last week. The event was from last week where I had the chance to have a look and hands-on of the X-E5, where I basically was also debating if I will sell my Lumix S9 camera, which is mostly recording my videos. And based on this purchase right now by Photoprofi and Sling. Thanks a lot, guys, again for supplying me this camera this quickly. Yeah, it's already set in stone. After this video I will put my S9 on sale. This would be also the first and last time that you see these three cameras in one shot, you could say, because after selling the S9 I will return to a workflow where the Nikon ZF will basically film my YouTube videos. Again, all of these cameras, not only the Fujifilm X-E5 but also the OM3 and the Nikon ZF, all these cameras I bought for my own money, and also because I'm an idiot, you could say, but also because of my preference for retro style camera. Since I bought and loved my Nikon ZF, I always was also looking for a camera which goes retro style, which would be a little bit more compact. And over time, these two cameras got released. I was always a little bit, you could say skeptical with the noise of the internet, because regarding the OM3, everyone was basically bashing on the micro four thirds sensor, and also regarding the price, that it's overpriced. Similar to the X-E5, you could say. When this price was also announced, a lot of people also said it's overpriced from what it is, and so on and so on. Since I have this channel, I thought that I would like to basically experience it myself and form my experience just on using the cameras for a period of time. After that, I can share my personal experience about these cameras and not by speculating on any specs and what so on. And when I got the OM 3 and shot with that camera, now I think almost 1 or 2 months now, I'm very surprised about this camera, despite of all the noise in the internet and also the small sensor, you could say, because it's micro four thirds. Look how cute this is. But the experience I had with this camera, I really enjoy this camera. And I was happy that I made the decision to give this camera a chance and shoot with that and collect my own experience. Same goes again for the X-E5. I just want to collect my own experience with this camera because this form factor does intrigue me. I'm a fan about this retro style design, but also I was, as I mentioned in the video before, quite surprised about the build quality of the X-E5. I was afraid that it might have the same cheap feeling body of the X-T5, although I have heard that later released X-T5, which are made in Japan, feel more premium. I'm not sure. The X-T5s I had 1 or 2 years ago in my hands, they felt quite cheap, you could say. And I was worried that the X-E5 would feel even worse than that, perhaps more like an X-M5, which is quite a plastic camera, but the price is okay. This one is around 1,500 bucks, depending on your country. And luckily, this top blade, for example, and the in general build quality is very nice, and it does remind me of the GFX 100 RF. That being said, my roadmap for these cameras is just to share you my experience. What are the differences of these cameras? Because every single retro style camera here on the table provides you just a different shooting experience. And we are not talking about image quality, because image quality is nowadays obsolete in my opinion. Every camera provides you an excellent image. There's no bad camera in that regard. There are only cameras which provide you a different shooting experience. Depending on your preference, you might favor one over the other. That being said, since I purchased these cameras with my own money, I have the opportunity to shoot them over a longer period of time. And what I said to myself is that after 6 months, one of these cameras I will sell again, because it doesn't make sense for me to keep all these cameras. That's at least what I'm saying right now. Let's see what the future will bring. And right from the bat, I would say that the Nikon ZF, it will stay. I don't see a scenario when I will ever part with this camera, especially nowadays when you look at the used market. It's a no-brainer camera to recommend if you are willing to sacrifice ergonomics and the size. You get an awesome powerhouse in this camera. So I think that this is already set that I will keep the Nikon ZF, especially since I will also switch back to a video recording setup scenario with the Nikon ZF, which leaves these two beautiful cameras. And when I was playing with the thought of getting the X-E5 instead of my S9, I also thought that perhaps I will get bored with the X-E5 over time, and I would sell one of these cameras in midterm. Back then my choice was already a little bit gravitating towards the OM 3, because, as I said, I enjoy this camera very much lately, and especially when it's daytime, when there's a lot of enough light out there, I pick the OM 3 over my Nikon ZF. With daylight, you don't have to worry about a small sensor, and a shallow depth of field is nowadays not that important for me, especially when shooting street. That being said, when I had the X-E5 in my hands for the first time, the choice was not that clear anymore. Now I'm quite interested and curious myself how my choice will end up in about half a year, which camera I will sell again, but it also can be that I end up with both of them again. So let's see. Most of you already know I have a gear acquisition syndrome problem, but I try to make the best of that and share you my experience with all the different cameras I have. Regarding the X-E5, I have 2 lenses which I currently will use this camera with. The first one is this TT Artisan 27 f2.8 lens. This lens I bought used with my own money. There was no any kind of affiliation with TT Artisan regarding this lens. As you can see, this combination is made for the X-E5. The newly released 23 2.8 lens is also this form factor, and this is just an awesome combination. Besides this lens, I also had a second lens. This is the Viltrox 35 1.7 lens. Again, this one I also bought with my own money because it was on sale. No affiliation with Viltrox. And I was mainly interested in this lens because of the lightweight and also the fast aperture of 1.7. Of course, here on this line of the Viltrox lenses, there's no aperturing, which is a little bit of a bummer. But you get a 1.7 lens for quite cheap money, and it doesn't look that bad on the X-E5, right? So that's basically for now my setup for the X-E5. To test out also the native Fujifilm lenses, I will ask my friends at Fotoprofi Sling to lend me some Fujifilm lenses, native lenses, where I can also basically test the native options. Since I was already considering to sell one of these cameras at some time, I didn't want to heavily invest in lenses, but still have some decent lenses to share good images for you guys. Yes, that's basically it regarding this quick unboxing and first impression, what kind of video regarding the X-E5 from Fujifilm. I decided for a black one simply because of being a little bit more stealthy. Regarding the OM3, I didn't have the chance. There's only a silver version, but I do like the silver version on the OM3 because it's basically looks like a film camera on this one. When I had the X100VI in silver, I noticed back then, but I think that was also because of the hype, that when I shot that camera on the street, that a lot of people were noticing me, or at least looking at me or looking at the camera. Therefore, that's the reason why I decided to get an X-E5 in black instead of the silver, although I also liked the silver design on the X-E5 and the material, how it felt in my hands. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, ideas, what kind of video you are looking forward in the next upcoming weeks, months with this trio comparison, you could say, let me know down below in the comments. I'm happy to read all of your comments and your ideas, and I will make the most of it possible to create these videos for you guys. As I said, since I own these cameras and purchased them with my own money, I can talk whatever I want basically about these cameras. Yeah, I'm also excited to shoot them next to each other and providing you with useful information in the upcoming weeks. If you made it until this point, thank you very much for your time watching. You are the one who deserves the like for that. If you want to support my small little channel, check the affiliate links below in the description, or buy me a coffee, link also in the description. And if you want to know why I got excited about this specific TT Artisan 40mm f2 lens for the Nikon Z mount, specifically on this Nikon ZF, click on this video and have a nice day.